There is no doubt about the fact that the restaurant industry has been one of the most affected through the pandemic. And just when things were starting to look up, the second wave struck. This is a difficult time for all, but it's perhaps even harder for your industry, Sagar. What's been the mood like at Wow Momo?
Well, for us, it's about survival of the quickest. We are in the QSR business, right? So for us, I think agility has always been one of our cores. It's been one of our fortes. It's been one of our strong points. And I think rediscovering our core and reinventing ourselves in these adverse times. I think that's how we've kept the mood. We have this never say die attitude. Like I keep telling I personally also practice it in my life that a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. So I think we've kept that agility, rediscovering, reinventing, the basics. We've stuck to our basics. We've stuck to our core, and we've backed ourselves on our strengths rather than focusing on the current situation and the weakness. So the mood, in spite of things not being up to the mark, has been quite upright. Yes, earlier in the first wave, it was more about work from home. Initially, in this wave, it was more about work for home. We were quite outright to go and tell our team and ourselves that let's first take care of ourselves, our families, and then get back to focusing on work and let things go on. And that's how it's been. So for us, the definition of work from home has now become more work for home for this second wave at least.
Interesting. I remember, Sagar, last year you launched a grocery arm to deliver essentials. In the second wave, I just want to get a sense of how have you been optimizing your resources?
So yeah, we've done two basic things. One is we've grown. We've really grown on our delivery business. So prior to the first wave of COVID, our delivery business was only 25% of our total revenue, right? Post the second wave, it had gone up to 60% and came back to around 42%. As we stand today, our delivery business is 100%, right? So we've really grown our delivery business across platforms, whether it's a Swiggy, whether it's a Zomato, whether it's our own direct delivery, through a dot pay or through our own delivery channels. We've really, really grown on these platforms. We've focused more on making our product more friendly to delivery, whether it's the packaging, whether it's innovation with the menu, whether it's re-engineering the menu. So I think from a 1.5, 2 crore number a month of delivery, we are now doing almost 5 lakh orders a month, in spite of the lockdown, touching more than 12 crores of revenue on delivery. So we've literally grown by 6 times or 5 times in the last 1 year. So really focused on delivery, made the product more consumer friendly for Wow Momo at home rather than Wow Momo at an impulse buy in the store. The other thing that we have done is we've really built our capacities beyond QSR, because we feel that the culture of work from home is here to stay. We have just ventured into FMCG. So, we've created a concept called Momo in a minute, which is instant momos, instant frozen momos, which we are launching across Big Basket on the 7th of June. So this is going to be our foray into FMCG. So we've built capacities beyond QSR. What happens is when people are working from home, you feel hungry, you have frozen momos kept in your fridge. Wow Momo Instant is going to be something where you just take out the packet, cut the packet, put it into your microwave. In a minute, it gets steamed. Take it out and have it. So Momo in a minute is our new concept, the Wow Momo Instant. It's our first foray into FMCG. So we've built upon capacities beyond QSR. And thirdly, what we're looking at doing is also building capacities beyond brick and mortar. So we are looking more at a platform play now going forward. We're looking at creating a couple of more brands. So we're going to have a Wow Momo, Wow China, and these two new concepts operating in a cloud kitchen model from a single kitchen, and focus more on the dark kitchen or the ghost kitchen, what you call it. I have never been a fan of the dark kitchen or the ghost kitchen because I felt it would never make money. But if you look at the basics, I think we are the only QSR chain in the country that has been able to make a homegrown QSR chain profitable. So we've now worked out modalities. We have tried to work out concepts where how can we make a cloud kitchen model profitable. So this is going to be our first step into experimenting and implementing efforts to make cloud kitchen profitable. And I think these 20 outlets that we are thinking of coming up by August across cities, which is going to be Delhi, NCR, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bangalore, will be a pilot run. and let's see whether we can crack the profitability code in cloud kitchen and not call it ghost kitchen anymore, but actually call it dark kitchens and get the terminology correct.
Interesting. Um, Sagar, I want you to talk briefly about some of the initiatives that you have introduced for your employees in the second wave and how you arrived at those decisions.
Like I said, for us, it's been more about work for home and not work from home, So the priority was on ensuring the safety and the security of our forefront employees, our core team, and ensuring that, their well-being is taken care of, right? What we did was, firstly, we created a policy whereby, any employee coming by his own public transport was reimbursed for the fuel, whereby we avoided any kind of movement of our employees through public transport. Secondly, for those who never had their own vehicle, we created our own mini bio bubble. We created our own carpool, whereby it was our vehicle picking up the employee from his home to the store and dropping him back from the store to the home. So we created our own mini bio bubble with our own carpool, and we ensured that none of the employees come into any kind of contact from the outside world, because this disease is highly contaminable, and we wanted to avoid that. Secondly, I think what we realized is that vaccination is an answer to this. We feel vaccination, and not just vaccination with the first jab and the second jab, but I think if you look at the US, now Pfizer is here to stay. You are hearing about boosters coming in. So vaccination is something which is going to we feel make it possible for us to come back to our daily lives again, and for people to live without the mask. So we personally believe that vaccination of our frontline workers was a priority, because they are customer facing. Their security is as vital as the customer security, because they are the guys preparing the food when the food is going out there for delivery. So the minute the government of India announced vaccination for above 18, we got our entire team vaccinated across cities. And I can proudly say that 75% of the Momo team across 16 cities is vaccinated today. The remaining 25% should get vaccinated in the next week or two. And we've been very aggressive with this. I think we were one of the first QSR restaurants to take this up and speed up with it and ensure that we can get the vaccines available for our team, and protect them, start the protection policy. Again, when we were getting them vaccinated, we had to be very careful, because the ones getting Covishield were complaining a lot about getting fever, post the vaccination. So we had to alternatively, plan out their routine and their schedules, so that the entire workforce does not get into a phase where they all fall, the immunity goes down after vaccination, and they fall a bit sick or they feel a bit weak. So I think it was done in a very scientific and a very planned manner. And kudos to our training team, kudos to our HR team for having been able to do that. Apart from that, I think one thing that we've done for our employees is, I think, job security is very important at this stage, right? I mean, you when the mind is without fear, you're able to focus on work. You're able to also, have that sense of belongingness and security towards the organization. I think as leaders, as entrepreneurs, it's our job to be very transparent with your team, with your employee. I think we did something in the first phase, and we repeated that in the second phase. The day the lockdown was announced, we went out there and told our entire team that there will be zero job cuts. So your job is safe. I went into a video recording mode and communicated to every employee in my team through WhatsApp that you are not going to lose your job. Your job is secure. Your job is safe. We might have to do a few pay cuts, but not job cuts from the second month onwards. In case this is stretching on beyond a month or so. But for the first month, they're going to pay you full salaries. In case the lockdown stretches for beyond 1 month, we might have to do a few pay cuts. But the entire organization has to, bear the larger pain for the larger gain of the organization. And I think every employee appreciates that, because the minute your job is secure, you are not going to be terminated. Whether you're able to make it to your store or you're not making it to your store, you're going to get your salaries. And for those guys who are able to make it to the stores, for them, being motivated enough to work not only for yourself but work for your home, like I said, work for your other colleagues, work for your other employees, and put in that effort, have that sense of belongingness, that sense of togetherness, that sense of us being a family together. I think that's one passion we've been able to build over the years at Wow Momo, and we are now seeing it bear fruit, because it happened in the first wave where we did not do any job cuts. We provided salary to anyone and everyone. There were guys who could not make it for their duties because of no transportation, and no chances for us to get them to the stores also. And to be very honest, with so many stores shut, you don't require everyone to report to duty, right? But still, we took a very conscious effort as a core, as a company, that we will not do any job cuts, and we've stuck to that. And I think providing the security to your employees is very, very important. And lastly, what we've done is that we've already have insurance cover for our entire fraternity, for most of our employees. But we've gone beyond that, and we've said that in case any employee, any of the family members who are not covered in the insurance policy, does fall sick. Firstly, we don't want the employee to come to the store because it's infectious. So we've given them a 2-week leave without deducting any salaries from their end. At the same time, we've tried to cover a part of the expenses for anything that goes beyond a particular amount where anyone has to be hospitalized. We've created a medical wow policy where we are trying to provide the security to those who cannot afford the treatment, irrespective of them being covered under insurance or not. I think there are some 3 or 4 instances across the country where we've gone beyond our means to ensure that the family member comes back home and gets the best of treatment in the hospital, where the employee maybe was not in a condition to fund the entire medical treatment. The company has taken a special call, and we've transmitted this confidence in the employee that your family is our family, and we will do anything to save that life. And it's not about doing it for one person or 4 people. The minute you do it for 4 people, the entire staff strength feels that we are here to stay, and the company is there to look after us. So I think building in that confidence was very, very important. Today, if I have run this business for 12 years with my team, if I am not able to save a life, it's going to be highly disappointing. So, there is no cost to saving lives, and we were very clear. And I'm very happy that my investors were very clear that, go out of your way, but ensure that you are able to have any impact in any life possible. Apart from that, what we've also done is that personally, I'm a part of the entrepreneur fraternity in Calcutta, and towards the end of April, we were getting so many calls about people asking for hospital beds, shortage of hospital beds, and using your network, using your influence, there's a particular number of obligations that you can take from hospitals and arrange for those beds, right? Beyond that, you feel what the real problem is, and the real problem was acute shortage of medical infrastructure, acute shortage of beds. So what we did is, we entrepreneurs of Calcutta, we came together and we said, what can we do to solve this problem? And, I think this entire initiative began in the end of April. And within the next 10 days, we formed this association called Entrepreneurs of Calcutta, which was not an organization. It's a very informal body of entrepreneurs which came forward together. We tied up with private hospitals, government hospitals, charitable hospitals, and we enhanced the number of beds available in the city. We worked with hospitals who are willing to go agile, move fast. We got equipments imported from abroad, equipments which were not available in India, life-saving equipments like, your BiPAP machines, ventilators. We got them imported from abroad within 72 hours, got them installed. And, we were able to increase more than 275 beds in the city. We were able to donate more than 850 life-saving machines and able to raise more than 7 crores through crowdfunding. So I think it's become a citizen movement now, the second wave, and everyone is coming forward, whether it's the employer for the employee, whether it's you for your city, everyone is coming forward and, making this a citizens movement. So one thing that, has got reignited in the second wave is that as a country, we are highly, highly compassionate, and that compassion has been seen in the second wave.
That's very commendable, Sagar. Just coming back to Wow Momo quickly, you of course have presence across the country. What's the staff strength like right now?
So we are close to 3,000 employees now as a company, 3,000 directly employed by the company. And if we look at indirect employment, I think it would cross the 4,000 number.
Right. So basically translates to you vaccinating over 3,000 people, which is a
I think not just over 3,000 people, not just for us. I also help the NRAI, which is the National Restaurant Association of India, the Calcutta chapter. This coming week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we are getting the entire restaurant fraternity in Calcutta vaccinated. So that's going to be another 5,000 plus people vaccinated in the city from the industry. I think as restaurant leaders, it's our duty to come forward now in this hour of need and get the entire fraternity vaccinated.
So Sagar, while we are on vaccination, you've of course started your own vaccination drive for employees, as have several other companies. Experts say vaccination is the only way out of this. So now that this is underway, I wanted to get your thoughts on when do you hope to see the restaurant industry kind of bouncing back?
Well, obviously the restaurant industry, has got very badly affected in the second wave. It's been like if you take one step forward, you come back by two steps post the effects of the first wave. Honestly speaking, I think vaccination is here to stay, like I mentioned earlier. And you will have your boosters coming in, and vaccination is the only answer for us to get unmasked and for us to get our lives back to normalcy, and for the restaurants to again see people back into their restaurants and completely packed to capacity. I think there is nothing more better than someone who's in the industry, and we love feeding people in this industry. It's more out of passion that we believe in serving this food to the people. It's a hospitality industry where it's by people for people, and without people it's null and void. So honestly speaking, I think between 18 to 44 age group, I think 70% of India would get vaccinated by September. You will see some normalcy coming in by September to an extent, but it's largely going to be the delivery business and a more of takeaway that's going to come in. If you talk about pure play dining and people coming to restaurants and spending time in groups, I feel somewhere around December would be the right time when we would see people unmasked and coming together with friends and family, and spending time together and rebuilding those memories that they've done in the past. Beyond December, I mean before December, I don't think I see any
And
normalcy.
just to clarify, Sagar, you're talking about December 2021 or 2022?
2021. So I am still being bullish, to be honest, if I am saying December 2021. But I'm quite confident that, with 70% of the people being vaccinated by September, hopefully, with largely the adult fraternity within the country, the youth, which is our biggest strength of a population, and having the maximum spending capacity vaccinated, we will see some normalcy coming in by December. However, it's going to be more in a phased out manner. You will see the QSR business coming back faster. You will see the fine dine and the casual dine coming back maybe much more later. You will see the malls having a larger impact, and the malls, food courts in malls, restaurants in malls also coming back later. Till the day schools are not open, till the day the multiplex is not open, you will not see normalcy coming in. The day schools open up, multiplexes open up, you will also see restaurants completely back to capacity. And fingers crossed, I'm waiting for that day to happen sooner than later. So the sooner the merrier.
Right. So, Sagar, some industry experts had spoken about revenge, revenge buying, revenge eating out, revenge travel, etc. during the first wave. And this is basically, the fact that people have been locked up for so long that once things open up, they're just going to go out and eat out, buy, etc., and live like there was no tomorrow. While they are still bullish, they believe it may take a little longer this time, given the scale of devastation in the second wave. I want to get your thoughts on this.
See, I think the fear factor has set into people. People have lost a lot of the near and dear ones, like I mentioned earlier. And, people are not going to lose their guards too soon this time. And I hope they don't, because we don't want a third wave coming in, right? It's going to take more time. You will not see any revenge happening, because I think many of us have been deeply hurt and devastated by losing our near and dear ones. That, I think the fear factor, the strength to go out there and be strong and be brave and take chances are not going to be like the first wave. I think in the first wave, people got back faster. They took it very casually, and I think to a large extent, we all lost our guards across cities. Right across the country, whether it was elections, whether it was going out and eating. I think we lost our guards, and we to an extent need to be more careful now. And the very fact that people are going to focus more on survival, post the second wave, because the second wave has actually made it a point of survival for all of us. I think you will see more time that will take for things to settle in, and people are going to largely work from home was the new normal. Now it has become the normal, and it's here to stay. Just the way e-commerce was an omni-channel earlier, and now it's e-commerce. Similarly, you will see people working from home. You will see a lot of changes happening in mindsets of people, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time. I don't see any revenge happening. I think it's going to be a process. We all have to go through the process, go through the grind. It's going to take time, and we have to give due importance to that time, because the second wave has been devastating. It's affected a lot of people, and the fear factor has set in.
Absolutely. Other, you mentioned the third wave. Now there is a lot of talk about it, and it seems like there could be one. So concerns and challenges around that.
It's a major, major concern. It's a major worry. It's a major concern, and never say never. I think prevention is better than cure, and I think we all need to prepare for that third wave, whether it's running your business or it's about the health of your loved ones, your near and dear ones, whether it's the health about kids. I think majority of the adult population would be vaccinated by the time the third wave might sink in, but it will be kids who will not be vaccinated, right? So I think we need to prepare in advance. We do not want another situation where the entire medical infrastructure and fraternity breaks down and we are not prepared to deal with competence to save lives. And I think the focus in the third wave will be more to do with kids, because I think the adult population would be vaccinated. So it is a concern. I think restaurants have a very, very large part to play there. I think you will see, restaurants, fraternity is known for health, hygiene, happiness. I think to keep that happiness going, we have to keep the health and hygiene factor in mind, whether it's your in-house restaurant executives, whether it's guests coming into the store. I think we'll have to maintain some kind of social distancing for some time to come. It's going to obviously affect business. It's going to affect revenue. But you might just see policies coming around kids moving out. You might have restrictions around kids going to certain places for some time to come, till when we don't see that normalcy is in place and the fear of the third wave is completely diminished. So it is a big concern. It might affect business to an extent, because if you're a family and you have kids, and if kids are not allowed to go to a particular place, you will avoid going to that place. So it's going to affect economy to an extent, but I think it's the need of the hour. I think it needs us to prepare for the third wave, so that at least we can save the future of our country, which is the young kids and which is the youth, which is going to take the country forward in times to come.
Absolutely. It's not an easy task, Sagar, to balance output and growth with employees' well-being. At Wow Momo, how do you find that balance?
Well, I think for us, health is first, wealth is second, everything else is third. And like they say, health is wealth. I think we have a very, very commendable training team. We have a very commendable HR team. We have these field HR personnel who make it a point to visit every store, talk to every employee. A lot of counseling is required. A lot of reaffirmations are required amongst your team, especially in the time of pandemic, right? I mean, there is a sense of insecurity that dwells in, whether you're an employee, whether you're an employer, right? We all are humans at the end of the day, and anxiety, depression, self-doubt, insecurity. These are all phases of the pandemic that we all are dealing with in different aspects, right? So I think for us, it's always been about keeping the energy levels high, because, like I said, if the mind is without fear, you intend to perform better, and happy employees ensure happy customers. It's the positive vibe. I believe a lot on vibes. I believe a lot on energy transformations, and if you serve good food with positivity, even if it's average food, is going to taste good, because it's being served with a lot of love, a lot of passion. And to keep that love and passion going amongst your team, I think you have to be a good man manager. You have to know how to solve for their problems. Because today, if you give them a reason to complain, they're going to give you more reasons to complain. So you can't clap with one hand. I think any effort, any achievement is a teamwork, and to keep that team going and minded, I think you have to understand their problems, solve for them. Verbal assurances is of no use. You have to prove it through actions, and your actions have to gel with your words, and it needs to give them that belief that the company or the organization is here for me and here to stay, and here to protect me, and I need to give in my best to ensure that my organization does not collapse. So I think it's a strong dedicated team that makes a brand. At the same time, it's the organization and the passion that you bring down within your organization to ensure that your team is bonded together, and at the same time, maybe across different levels, speaking the same language with the same passion, serving the customer with the same attitude. And like I said, today I keep telling my employees that if you work hard, you are enabling us to open another new store of Wow Momo, where we are being able to create another employment for 4 or 5 more people. So the blessings don't just come to the organization, the blessing comes to you because you have worked hard to make sure that the company is profitable. And with that profitability, we are able to open another store and create more employment. So, the blessings are going to be there. The rewards are going to be there. Recognition has to be there. You need to share wealth to make wealth. I've always believed this. By wealth, I don't mean, raising up salary. By wealth, I mean giving out ESOPs. By wealth, I mean, giving them promotions, giving them, appreciating their efforts, making them feel part of the organization. Wealth is not just money. Wealth is a lot of aspects coming together, ensuring the well-being of your employees, keeping them motivated, keeping them fit. And then there are instances when they are demotivated, so you need to have the right counseling. A lot of focus has to be given to mental health. I mean, today's world, mental health is no more a taboo. I'm someone who's gone through counseling. I've gone through mental health issues. I'm very upfront telling my employees that, if I can go through it, you can go through it. So be very vocal about it. We have a team of counselors, and we have seen issues that are beyond work, that are more part of your personal life, but affect your work, affect your mental well-being. And in those times, I think you need to stand beside them, stand for them, and tell them that, it's okay. Work is worship, but work is also secondary. What is primary is your health and your well-being, which is primary, and we are there for you. We are there to stand with you, and we need to walk the talk, basically. Just speaking and just saying will not help. You need to walk the talk and make them feel belonging to that organization. Their problem should be your problem, and your problem should be their problem.
So it basically, it all starts with empathetic leadership.
Absolutely. Empathetic leadership at all levels, and both ways, whether it's a superior or a subordinate. It has to be both ways. Like I said, respect can't be enforced. It has to be earned. Similarly, empathy cannot be enforced. It has to be given, and it has to work both ways.
Nice. Sagar, the first wave was bad, but the second wave's been a new kind of dark period. And at the end of the day, leaders are just as human as anyone else. And in these times, they would feel just as vulnerable and anxious as you were yourself saying. So, how can one find some peace and calm amidst balancing personal anxieties and those of the team?
It's tough. It's very tough. We are humans. We do feel shaky. We do feel scared. And I would say what really helps is belief, belief in yourself, believe in the Almighty, gratitude. That sense of gratitude is very, very important. At the same time, I think appreciating efforts of others. I think as leaders, we tend to get very attached to the results. I think we need to get detached from the results, and that can only happen when you are able to appreciate teamwork, you are able to appreciate efforts of others, and have this sense of gratitude. Today, by God's grace, I'm extremely grateful to God. If I did not have a magnificent team, the team that I have today, 12 years ago, if you would have told me Babu, Momo would have been here in 12 years of time, I would have blindly taken it and grabbed it, right? So very, very grateful to be where we are, and we are here because of our team. Every morning, I personally wake up, I thank God for everything around me, especially my team, and thank God for giving me that strength to go out there. When you're young and you wake up feeling responsible, because today my decisions as the CEO of the company, as the founder, is going to impact 3,000 lives and into their families, right? So if you multiply it into 4 or 5, it's going to be many lives, right? So today, if I am empowered to take decisions that impact their lives, that power comes out of responsibility. And I have to act in a very responsible manner, which does put pressure on yourself. But today, my goal is that today, if I have 3,000 employees, how can I take this 3,000 to 5,000 and 5,000 to 50,000 someday? Because it's about impacting more and more lives. And I think as a leader, it gives you a very different kick. It makes you feel very empowered when you're able to do that. And I'm super grateful to God. And I think gratitude is something that we all need to practice to have that ability to go and take your chances and have the blessing of the Almighty to ensure that those chances are more in your favor. Being a first generation entrepreneur, it's a lot about trial and error, right? Not always will you be correct, but like they say, fortune favors the brave. You have to be brave. You cannot get very emotional to your idea. You have to be a good listener. I personally feel we are very good speakers, but we tend to be very good listeners. But trust me, in my journey of 12 years, I have even seen a housekeeping guy giving me some amazing ideas, which has worked for the benefit of the organization or for the benefit of my customer, and I'm able to provide my customer with that convenience. So I think being a very good listener and making your team feel that the organization is here to listen, or making your customers feel that they're here to listen. I mean, today you are praised very often for your product or for your service, but you're also criticized. And when you're criticized, you have to take it on your stride. You have to take it on your stride, and you have to get back to that customer and make that customer also feel that we are here listening to you, and we are here to make that changes for you. We are all humans, right? And at times we tend to forget that. We tend to feel we are more like machines which are going to be perfect, and it's on both sides, right? It's from us expecting from the customer, and the customer expecting from us. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that belief of gratitude really helps you to make you feel empowered, and you feel that there is that almighty there who is making things happen, and things that start opening up for you, doors start opening up for you. And I think it's a process. I personally believe that people talk about a lot about destiny, but I'm someone who believes in that you need to create your destiny. So given your best shot in creating your destiny, and then let destiny take its place. So like a lot of people talk about luck, but it's more about work. For me, it's more about karma, because even luck needs to work someday.
Some of the takeaways from what you said, Sagar, is important to have gratitude, important to be brave, but then not forget that you're human. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable, and be more human, basically, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that's a good note to end on. Then, Sagar, thank you for taking the time out and joining us on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ramarko. Thank you so much, and thank you to your story for having me here.
The pleasure is ours.
Thanks.